and welcome or welcome back to the wonderful world of Teqvoly. If you're just joining us, my name's Key Michael. It is my pleasure to welcome you back to beautiful Miami Beach, Florida for the 2023 Teqvoly World Tour. We are well underway with competition. As you can see, it's been a full day of battles yesterday on the sand and semifinals this morning, and we are into the medal matches. Earlier on, Barrios and Mansour fell to the Brazilian squad of Hoffman and Macedo. And up next, we have Greiner and Justice taking on Barrios, Perez, and Calderon, Diaz. With me in the booth is the head of Teqvoly Sport Development and our local expert, Anna Molnar. I'm going to be taking a lot of, well, decisions from you. I'm learning a lot as we go here in Miami, as you can see the weather. But Anna, what have you been seeing so far?
Hi, Key. So, regarding the men, we have seen 2 semifinals going to the 3rd set. So both teams are very hungry for success, I believe.
Yeah, a lot on the line here. Some prize money, some bragging rights. We're in the bronze medal match. And this sport, if you're new to it, is basically beach volleyball with a table. But there's so much more to it than that. This sport is so fun, it's energetic, it's entertaining, and it combines what we love about beach volleyball with some fun new elements. Here's a look at the road to the finals for the men's. As you can see, a couple of teams knocked out already, but Taylor Crabb, Troy Field, so far undefeated. They went 3-0 in the semifinals, and then they have made their way to the gold medal matches. There is Robin
Shibalin, the main referee.
Thank you for pronouncing that for me. He's from Hungary.
He is,
and
yes.
That last name's throwing me off, but we are good to go. So the first team coming on out of their locker room, wherever that is, Brett Greiner and Jonathan Justice of the USA. Greiner is a New York-born native living in Florida, and Jonathan Justice, well, he's from St. Augustine in Florida as well, so somewhat local boys, but the local team is Frank Barrios and Adrian Calderon Diaz from Miami, right here on these sands. They grew up playing here, and they continue to do so now. Teqvoly, they are beach volleyball players by trade, but learning the name of this game. Let's have a listen to the referee as we get the coin toss underway.
Attacks inside of the diamond must be at an upper trajectory and cannot be repeated twice in a row. That would be considered a repeated attack.
Receive first. Receiver, and who's gonna serve first? Frank is serving, receiver. Good luck.
So as you can see, whoever wins the coin toss can decide if they want to serve or receive and which side they want to. But what they cannot decide is which order they are going to. The second team who didn't win the coin toss can say first who is going to serve from their side.
And that's really interesting. We talk about this a little bit because in beach volleyball, you only get a chance to see if you're just going to serve or receive. But let's have a look at the players. Brett Greiner from the USA, 6 foot tall. He's right-handed, and he hails from, well, New York and Florida. His teammate, Jonathan Justice, 5'11", right-handed player. He coaches, or used to coach, at FSU Beach Volleyball. He's from St. Augustine. My boy, Frank Barrios Perez, a Miami local. He told me earlier he has a 38-inch vertical. We're not going to see it in these stats, but that is hearsay. Adrian Calderon Diaz, former pro beach volleyball player. In fact, for 10 years, played and coached for Italy and for Germany. He was part of that King of the Court that was here over the weekend. So a lot of talented players coming through this Teqvoly tour over from the beach, and we're so excited for it. Well, about to get underway. Both these teams know what's on the line, bit of prize money, and of course, bragging rights for this 3rd tour stop of Teqvoly. Barrios with the first serve. Chance to swing is Greiner, and he gets it off. The first point heads to Greiner and Justice.
What a start. I do believe that the wind is going to play an important part in this match, but they don't really seem like bothered by it, right?
Well, the wind is always a factor when you're on the sand, when you're playing any kind of outdoor sport, especially beach volleyball, but it seems even more so Teqvoly. Another point to the USA squad. Chance to swing. Oh! But Greiner missing it just by a little bit. So Barrios and Calderon get their first point on the board. Now you'll notice that Frankie is serving 4 times in a row. That's what you got to do here on Teqvoly, no matter what way the point goes. But that one goes back to Greiner and Justice with a big, heavy swing.
For now, Greiner just seems to be confident about his attacks, and he manages to swing it short. So it landed up in between the opponent players.
So they're using the wind to their advantage now. Calderon a heavy swing, but he's dug. Justice goes for it. What a dig! Calderon's coming back a little bit softer this time, goes off the plexiglass net, and that is a point directly to the USA squad.
So important fact to consider here that men are not allowed to jump in. What you saw during the women's bronze match, that they were jumping in. What an edge ball!
An edge ball indeed. So Calderon, I feel he got his confidence up in that last match, in that
yes, absolutely,
the semi-final match, and now he's swinging really aggressive, but he got an edge ball. Can you explain to the viewers what that is?
Absolutely. So this was a perfect example of an edge ball. So whenever you hit the ball and it hits the edge of the table, usually going up, changing direction, that's an edge ball, and that's a replay.
So no point awarded. Another chance to swing goes Calderon. This time just misses, and I almost feel that he's almost aiming for the side of the table now, but before he was really being a little more conservative and getting that right in the middle.
I do think that he is trying to aim to the end of the table, but then he actually risks it and might not find the table.
Well, a little bit less risk on that swing. Chance for Justice, he'll tip it. There goes Calderon on 2. That was so successful last time, and it is again. So that's what we saw from this team in the semifinals. They were going over in 2 more often, just trying to get him in the attack.
Exactly. They were trying to make Calderon hit all the balls, either it was the second or the third touch.
So it's 5-2 now for the USA side. Calderon with another chance. He goes heavy, and now he's found his rhythm. Oh, was that an edge ball?
It seemed right to me. He does seem like trying to change those 2 angles, the one getting close to the net and the one at the end of the table, so the opponent team can't really decide where to position.
So Greiner has another serve. This time a back set from Frankie. Oh, that one works nicely. Calderon, too much heat on it.
It seemed like it was unexpected to the other team. Amazing back set, and manages to hit it to the right spot.
And I think that's the strength of this team. You know, Frankie's a great setter. Calderon likes to use his height to his advantage. So I think we're going to see them running those back sets maybe a little more often, just trying to confuse their opponent.
I wonder if Team USA is going to get like more prepared to Calderon, because as we see now, Barrios is not really attacking. So that might be something interesting to watch in the future.
These 2 teams starting to learn each other, habits and traditions and preferences. Calderon again with a chance to swing. He goes for it. That's dug. Here comes Justice. Quick tip to Frankie to pick up. He's going to have a chance. That's quick. Oh, and a short one. So Frankie's working on his precision there. He's not trying to be aggressive. I think he took a little bit too much off it.
Also, the set went way too far into close to the table, meaning that Diaz couldn't really attack with a swing.
Oh, good dig. Calderon sends a soft one. That's coming back. Justice with a heavy arm, and he finds the floor. So that angle of attack almost just skipping off the court table.
Yeah, that was amazing. He did risk it, but he managed to find it, and that was very hard to defend.
Wow, and he really aims for that cue right there at the back. That's that sweet spot.
We always say aim to the cue, and then there will be no problem. If you manage to reach, to actually hit it.
Easier said than done. I went out there and tried this game yesterday. It is tough, and it takes a lot of athleticism just like that. Calderon getting a great shot there. Undefendable.
It do seems like whichever teams manages to hit at the end of the table but not to the side or to the edge of it, they kind of win that point.
Service.
Justice on the windy side. Oh, great one again, and that one's going over the head of Greiner. He really just doesn't even have a chance to defend it. It's so high.
They might have to consider putting the taller player to that angle wherever Calderon is hitting, so they could dig it easier.
Well, so far so good for the USA team. 8-5. Oh, and another heavy shot. The defense is good, and the rundown. Calderon showing us some beach volleyball skills. The hustle is there.
Yes, and what you could also see here that now they were attacking at Barrios, meaning that he is somewhat shorter than Calderon, and he couldn't dig that ball even though Calderon might have been able to do that.
Interesting. So the strategy evolves as the game goes. That ball going straight into the net. That's a direct point, I believe.
Exactly. Whenever a serve touches the net, it's always a point to the other team. So 2 serving mistakes. 2 unforced errors, getting Barrios and Calderon back into the match. Just a 2-point spread now. And as a reminder, we're going to 12 points in this set. You must not win by 2. You just have to clear that 12-point mark first. But as the ball goes back to Frankie to serve, that's a direct point to Greiner and Justice. Exactly. They keep giving each other points.
While both teams still learning the sport. And that one directly into the sand. And it's interesting, you have to wrap your mind around it as a beach volleyball player. If the ball goes directly into the sand in front of the defenders, that's their point.
Exactly, and not sure if you see, but if you saw, but Calderon was positioning himself for the long one, for the swing, because they also discovered their tactique that they want to hit basically over Barrios.
Here comes another aggressive swing. Did that clip the net?
That was undefendable.
We'll get another look at it. Nope, no net touch. Perfectly on the cue, like you said.
Close to the cue is always good.
There you go. So any young players out there who want to pick up this sport, aim for the cue. Words of wisdom from Anna Molnar.
So Calderon, if he manages to reach this ball, he still could have played it back, but this time it didn't happen. So one set is over.
Just like that, the set is gone, and it goes the way of USA. A quick one, but this sport is so fascinating because how fast these matches go.
Very fast. It was a quick one, but it was still a very exciting one, I believe.
Well, we'll have another look at that very last set point, the serve from Frankie. And that is an aggressive swing, and he's so short into the court there.
Yes, and they were not really prepared to get the hit for the second option, and I guess this was something smart move to do.
And interesting, as beach volleyball players, they're having to readjust their bearings a little bit. You're used to having that ball come from above you, but here in Teqvoly, the ball's kind of skipping from down, so the defense has to be a totally different angle.
Exactly. And what we also see here is, let's have a look at the stats.
Well, what we're looking at here, you can maybe decipher this a little bit for me. The one I love to look at, the unforced errors, only 4 on the USI side. Not huge from Barrios and Calderon either. They only had 6, but what was the difference between these two teams?
Well, I do believe that both teams were playing, not playing the safe side, but they still were very precise in attacking. So this is something that even though the wind is here, they managed to do it, and this is something great for me to see also in the, in the development of Teqvoly.
And the wind, you can see it on the shirts of the players. Look how much it's moving. So imagine trying to understand not only where the ball is going, but how it's going to bounce off the table. And in beach volleyball, we prefer to be on the side where the wind is facing us because you have a bit more control over the ball. Let's see if that's the same case here.
I'd prefer to be on that side too right now, because then worst case scenario, the ball just goes back but not over the halfway line, which you want to avoid.
Well, set number 2 underway. First point yet to be decided. Good defense.
And
Greiner has a go.
And Barrios, sorry, managed to hit it before he leaned over. So it was a legal attack, but then he misses. So point goes to Team USA.
Well, I think that this USA team has kind of figured out the Miami natives. They're going to be targeting Frankie in the defense, force him to play it. Calderon goes over on 2. Here comes a free ball, looking for the over and 2 swing. That's dug, but that is the strategy that we saw get these boys into a third and deciding set in the semifinals.
Exactly. Let's have a look at the replay. Team USA had an attack from inside, so the next one would have been from outside, but missed it. So the point goes to Cuba.
Frankie again trying to do his best to stay outside the line. He really hasn't been able to find that rhythm or that contact with the table as much as he might like.
Well, he wasn't really attacking in the first set, right? So he might have to get used to it a little bit. They were playing only to Calderon to attack.
Frankie with the ball up. Chance for him to tip it over. He's inside the line. And a legal attack has been called, so I think he might have gone over the center line.
They must have gone. They must have gone. Let's have a look over, and you can see that, yeah, he was over the line, which is, in every case, when you attack is illegal and point goes to the other team.
And when we say over the line, we mean not only the foot, but the body as well. His
the whole
elbow
body counts, exactly.
Going to Team Cuba.
Well, a swing goes long, and Barrios Calderon get another point on the board, just 1 point behind the USA squad.
Service.
Frankie with the serve. He tips that one over. Good pickup. Justice sends it short. Will Calderon go over on 2? Yes, he will, but he's dug. They've started to figure him out. That ball coming back and bounces in an awkward way.
It does. It was a hard ball to attack because the set was coming from back. So, but he still took his chance, but didn't succeed.
Well, the idea is there, but again, as in volleyball, you want everything kind of in front of you. You want to be able to see the court, see what's happening. Oh, good defense. Chance and a short one. Frankie's putting that over.
And the next one has to be made from outside.
Okay, so Calderon must stay outside the line. He does. Heavy hit, that's defended. Here comes Justice. Sends that one short. Going over on 2 again is Calderon. The one-arm dig is no good. So Calderon and Frankie find the point.
Amazing rally.
Love to see these rallies developing and the tactics and the techniques.
And still it's getting harder to dig the ball, but they still manage to get their sets right in the spot so they can hit it again on the table and not just on safe play.
The last serve from Frankie. That one's short. Stays over. Over on 2 goes Calderon, and yes, they found, or no, hang on a sec, that was called an illegal attack.
It seems like it was a nice attack, but let's have a look if any of his body parts were leaning over the halfway line.
So again, the players, the Miami boys, staying on their side with their feet, but the body is going over that center line, that imaginary center line there. 4 points apiece. That one's short to Calderon. He'll have a go. Does he clip the table? No, not that time. A direct point to USA.
Exactly. Well, he did risk it. He wanted to find the end of the table. This time he missed it.
Service.
And again, the Miami natives have to win this set if they want to stay alive and push for a third,
Point to
but
Team USA.
He did try to do a short one, but it seemed too short. Not sure if it touched the bottom of the table.
so was that a side ball maybe instead of an edge ball? Because I'm understanding there's a difference between those two.
So it might have been a side ball, or it didn't touch the table at all. I'm not exactly sure of that, but in both cases, it's going to the other team, the point.
Well, now look at the points run here by Greiner and Justice. They've had the last 4 points in a row go their way. Things looking good for this set. Calderon goes for a swing. The wind so tough. Oh, great rundown. And the control by Justice.
And the next attack has to be made from outside.
But it was not, so that's why you see Frankie stopping play there, because he knows that rule. A couple of rules still getting a hold of, but that one. So the rule is if you attack inside the line, the next time you have a chance to attack, you must be outside.
Exactly, but as for called the repeated return. But as for attacking from outside, you can do it anytime. There is no limitation for that.
Well, 7-5 advantage to USA.
Edge ball.
Ooh, a replay called, an edge ball serve.
Service.
Calderon again. This time finds the table. Ball from inside, received by Frankie, over in two. And just clips the edge, so a bit of luck there for Calderon.
Edge ball again, yes, and you could see where Calderon was positioned from that angle. It was easier to hit at the end of the table. Well, it ended up as an edge ball, but from that angle, it's good to hit that last part of the table.
Service.
Calderon, tip serve. Here comes Greiner. He's going aggressive on it, but the wind getting that ball a little bit away from him.
The wind is always there.
And it's so tough when you're on that side because the ball is coming towards the court. And again, you cannot cross that center line. So any mistake in set is really costly.
Absolutely, yes. They have to pay attention to the set and get close to each other when setting.
Fault, illegal attack. Point to Team
That was
USA.
definitely an illegal attack. The set was too close.
There's a look at the wind if you have any doubts as to what's happening out there. We could feel it up here in the booth as well. It might even be coming through the microphone.
Absolutely, it's a bit chilly over here because of the wind.
Nat.
Another
Point
short
to
serve.
Team USA.
Oh, what an unfortunate. The serve touched a little bit the net, and it's a double point coming here.
Ooh, this is one of the most fun rules. So any team, before they hit 9 points, can call for a double point. And this time, Justice and Greiner do it, and they get themselves a 2-point differential.
Exactly. This might have been a bit irresponsible serve from Calderon's side. Usually players keep playing very safe whenever a double point is requested.
And now, match point for USA. Could this be the chance? They have a go at it off the table. Difficult receive. Frankie has to find the table here. Short set. Chance for Justice being pushed out. Swing, and the defense is run down, but not enough. Frankie trying to bring it back into court. Love the hustle. But ultimately, the point goes to the team USA. Brett Greiner, Jonathan Justice have earned themselves a bronze medal in this Teqvoly Tour 2023.
Yes, very well deserved. Well, I do believe, even though it was only 2 sets, that it was a very exciting and interesting match with athletic movements, right? With this last jump.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to look at this last point, the replay. There it is, off the hands of Calderon. And Frankie told me before this match, I'm going to run over the barrier at some point, and he holds his promise.
So it
I wish
actually
he got the
happened.
ball back, though.
Yes.
Wow, true athlete, Frankie. Well, at least he'll make the highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly what I wanted to say.
Well, at least You're seeing all the players hugging and smiling as well, because this is their first time playing. They're learning the game, they're enjoying the game, and I think they are just going to get better and better as time goes.
Absolutely. So a quick awarding ceremony over here for the bronze medalists.
All right, presenting the award for placing bronze Nash, Wilco, Nyland.
The bronze medal is to be presented by the founder of the King of the Court, Wilco Nile.
Presenting the medals to Brett Greiner and Jonathan Justice. Congratulations to these boys. Third place in this Teqvoly World Tour Miami.
Well, and third place on the first ever Teqvoly tournament. That's not a bad achievement.